Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Gadigal people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Joni Jones. It's Thursday, June the 1st. In Squiz Kids Today, the world's highest rubbish dump, futuristic solar trees, a frightening croc attack, and the State of Origin wrap-up. That's what's making news kids style.
The lowdown.
For many mountaineers, having the chance to climb to the highest point on Earth is a lifelong ambition and a hard-fought dream. Standing at 8,849 metres, Mount Everest is the tallest mountain above sea level, and every year hundreds of adventurers brave the extreme conditions to attempt to reach its peak. But as the popularity of conquering Everest increases, sadly, this has led to a serious rubbish problem. To reach the summit, each climber spends weeks on the mountain, needing to adjust to the altitude at a series of camps on the way. During this time, it's estimated each person generates around 8 kilograms of waste. A climber who'd just returned home released a video showing the enormous amount of trash he came across on the mountain. I'll post a link in our episode notes. The video shows the mess, which is full of mountaineering equipment, discarded tents, and used oxygen cylinders. Because unfortunately, what goes up is not coming back down. Climbers who face difficult conditions leave behind belongings they no longer need to make their bags lighter. So there are now calls for stricter regulations to enforce clean climbing practices. And this is a quick reminder to us all, rubbish goes in the bin. Be part of the solution, not part of the pollution.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in England, where futuristic solar-powered trees could soon be recharging electric vehicles. A tech company has created these metal trees with a 7-metre canopy. There's a link to photos of them in your episode notes. The branches will capture the sun's energy. Then this energy will be stored in a battery located in the tree's trunk. So if you park your electric car near one of these revolutionary trees and plug it in, voila, your car will charge. And because of the size of these trees, multiple cars can be charged at the same time. They'll be rolled out to shopping centre car parks and sports stadiums by the end of the year. Genius.
Animal Kingdom.
This is absolutely the stuff of nightmares. A man who was holidaying in far north Queensland has spoken about being attacked by a crocodile on the weekend. In fact, he was snorkeling when he literally swam into the mouth of a croc. For a second, he thought it was a shark, until he reached up and realised his head was inside the jaws of the salty. Incredibly, he used all his might and managed to lever the croc's jaws open just enough to get his head out. His friends screamed for help and they all managed to get safely back on their boat. Luckily, the croc is thought to be a young one, not an adult. Because here's a fun fact for you. Adult saltwater crocodiles have 66 teeth and are known to have the greatest bite pressure of any animal in the world. So this is not the usual ending of a story involving a croc attack, because unbelievably, he only suffered minor cuts. Now that's what I call a lucky escape.
Sport time.
It was a nail-biting first State of Origin, full of drama, crushing tackles and spectacular tries, with Queensland only victorious in the final minutes. The Maroons were dominant early on with an onslaught of points, scoring twice in the first 12 minutes. But it was not just their attacking game that was strong, with their superhuman defence also impressive, preventing 2 New South Wales tries. Finally, at 31 minutes, the Blues cracked Queensland, getting onto the scoreboard. After half-time, New South Wales came back firing, scoring out of nowhere and for the first time taking the lead. But it was high drama and anyone's game as both teams kept up momentum. Each team leapfrogged the other in taking the lead, Queensland in front, then the Blues, then back to Queensland. But in the dying minutes, the Maroons sealed the deal with Cam Munster getting over the line. Final score, Queensland wins 26-18.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What is the name of the mountain where the peak is the highest point on Earth? Mount Everest. Question 2. Metal trees built to charge electric cars will get their power from what source? They'll be solar powered, so the answer is the sun. Question number 3. How many teeth does a saltwater crocodile have? Well done if you said 66.
Shout outs.
It's June the 1st, the start of winter, and doesn't it feel like it? It's also World Reef Day, so from the highest mountain down to the depths of our oceans, it's another reminder to keep our planet clean. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Mia from Yass, John from Manapara, Jimmy from Tellera, Bonnie from Dulwich Hill, Lachlan from Wanamble, Molly from Tennyson Point, Jack from Kalala, Grace from Spring Farm, Luke from Spring Mountain, Max from Sydney, Caitlin from Sutherland, and Kobe and Grace from Pitt Town. Belated shout-outs go to Charlotte from Wanamble and Brent from Pitt Town. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Class 3-4 with Mrs. Sansom at Barrington Public School, Class 5-6W and Mr. Wright at Balgownie Public School, Class 6 Aqua with Mrs. Damasai at Tormina Public School, Class 6D and Mrs. Mackenzie at Christian College Bellarine, Class 3-4C and Mr. Gahan at Trinity College in Mildura, and lastly today to Class 4-5H and Mrs. Hutt at Exeter Public School. And don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and if you want a shout out, or if you want a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. That's all we've got time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have the most excellent day. Over and out.